Why don't you introduce yourself and what you do at Avail?
Hey everyone, I'm Robin. I'm a DevRel, a developer relations engineer at Avail. At Avail, we try to scale blockchains beyond execution. This means we work on a couple of different things, including providing a state-of-the-art DA solution for rollups out there. And now we're currently deploying an interoperability protocol called Nexus that allows anyone to tap into liquidity across multiple chains in a single click. So, essentially what we're trying to do here is like make blockchain experiences feel simple, quick, and easy.
So with DevRel on your side, it seems like, obviously you're cranking out docs, you're cranking out demos, you're cranking out content in general. Do you use AI in that workflow at all?
In my workflow personally, AI does come into it. And the thing is, I've only recently started to actually pay for subscriptions. Before that, I just try to work without it or just use a free tier at times, right?
Mhm.
But recently I decided to go ahead and buy cursors. So this kind of helps work through demos really quickly, churn out stuff, try some ideas out quickly. And it kind of streamlines the entire process, right? For me, AI is mostly helping with getting started with some of the code templates that I want to, because I don't really want to write all of the basic stuff. I just want to focus on the logic that I want to build out. So I usually get AI to build out the starting few components, and then I iterate on top of that, and that makes things really quick. I think mostly it's related to the code, but if I want to maybe research some stuff and I don't really have a real good source of truth where I can go ahead and read, I would probably search it through AI, and that kind of helps. But most of the time as a DevRel, I'm always going through docs and trying to figure out how I can integrate XYZ into, whatever app that I'm trying to build out at that time. And that means I kind of, sometimes I just even copy and paste or take a link of the docs, put into the AI and ask it to read through it and tell me the best way on how to go about integrating this for the specific use case. It gives me something. Sometimes it hallucinates, so I need to actually go ahead and look through it myself. But it often gives me a good starting point to figure out what are the features that I need to look at, and this is where you should be looking at, and then I can build on top of that, right? So that's how I kind of usually use AI in my workflow.
Would you trust an AI agent to move money for you with the current state of AI today?
Yeah, so again, depends on if I had what the risk appetite is and how much I'm putting into it, right? So if it's I would consider it more of a bot that would probably do some trades for me, but I wouldn't put in too much money into it because I don't trust bots to be able to do it. Just because I feel like AI hallucinates quite a lot, and even though you do have, maybe if you do have enough data, it might not, but there's always that inner fear within me that it doesn't take decisions as well as a human can, and I want to be able to control that. So that's one of the only reasons I would probably not use it too much. But if I just want to try out a new tool, experiment, I might. Right. So, and if it convinces me, hey, then sure. Right. But at the initial stage, it's probably not. I would be open to trying it out for maybe small amounts of money, see where it goes.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what happens.
Right. What do you think about InfoFi and AI right now, though?
InfoFi in the sense of earning by basically these Yapper leaderboards and stuff like that would die actually, right? In the sense incentive, it's basically incentivizing people to post random stuff. And I think there will be already people are tired of most of that, right? And there would be eventually a point that it does not work at all. At all. And then the price that these protocols pay these platforms to actually go through these campaigns may not reflect the ROI that they get out of it. And at that point, in the scales rebalance and we start seeing less of that. And we'll eventually see a balance of it, right? I do feel like getting the insights from these InfoFi platforms can be really beneficial. Kaito gives really good insights. It also helps with filtering through a lot of these symbols in terms of low quality, you know, killing versus actually putting in really insightful content. But again, there are some of these platforms that have built on top of that kind of uh, try, like KOL-ish platforms that kind of incentivize you to post about certain campaign, like they put up campaigns. So, and that can sometimes feel very fake-ish. Although, but it kind of democratizes KOLs in that sense. So I'm not really sure what that middle ground is going to be like, but eventually there will be a middle ground.
So to bring it back to AI here, if AI could take one task off your plate every single day, right? What would you happily never touch again? One task that you do every day.
This is interesting. Okay. If AI is magical enough and it has all of the capabilities in the world, I think it should take away like the menial tasks that I do, probably like maybe in a weekly or a monthly basis, such as, you know, if there are version upgrades, just making sure all of the examples in the code already works, right? Like things like that. Like,
Yeah.
there are certain things, like even if there are, like, for example, Avail GA has a lot of dependencies because we are basically built on top of, like, we integrate into different roll-up stacks, so like OP stack and Arbitrum Orbit and the ZK Sync stack or Polygon CDK. And sometimes the issue, it's not really an issue, but like the thing is that these upstream dependencies, they keep on changing, right? Like OP stack might create an upgrade, like they might change a version that might not be compatible with that app that we have right now, and we might not be aware of it, maybe unless we are like keeping a close look at it. And even if we do, we have to now again test the new version to check if it whatever versions on a docs and whatever instructions are on our docs are still functional. And if we can like kind of automate all of that away and just have like a bot kind of run through it and find issues. So stuff like that would just make life easier instead of us having to like automate stuff like manually, or like we have, instead of us writing scripts manually, or like um or trying it out manually, right?
Right.
Like going through each of the stacks and seeing what works, what does not work.
Are you generally pro AI or not? Or kind of neutral?
I am pro AI, like I'm pro technology always.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always, I understand there's like ethical issues with the artist related stuff, and codes, right? Like, do we have we given consent to these corporations to like take the code, open source code, and train them on it, or not? Or like, artists, like, is there in return, like, is the IP being of the creator being rewarded, or like something, are they getting out of something out of it or not? Uh, I know those conversations are there, but like I myself cannot do much about it. I would rather just focus on the utility that I get out of it, because it's anyway going to be here.
Yeah.
I might as well embrace it. Obviously, there are, I mean, I might get cancelled. Like, obviously, there are people who are fighting for certain rights, and we should have like regulations around it for sure. But like, I'm pro regulations as well. Like, put in the regulations, make sure people get what they need to get, and all of that. But like, technological, I'm like, whatever tech advances, like I'm there for it.
For
like,
it.
Yeah, or like just do it, bro.
Send it. Send it all the way. Yeah, literally. Do you think AI will replace many jobs in crypto in like the next year?
It depends on the type of job, but not too much. I think there's a lot of jobs in crypto is very niche, and I mean, I've seen a lot of designers not getting jobs anymore because of like AI, coming in and like designing stuff, like marketing materials and stuff like that. And there's a limited scope of jobs. Like, jobs still exist, but the scope or the amount of people that they hire becomes lesser, or they shrink teams because they know AI can do it as well. And that's an issue probably. So they are technically replacing jobs. Um, I think, I mean, but whenever technological advancement comes, uh, jobs do go as a result of it, right?
Right.
And I think it's more of like, how do we embrace it and kind of use it to make our life better than like not.
Where do you see AI plugging into parts of blockchain that would be the most useful?
Most useful, I think, this might be already the case right now, is anti-money laundering kind of stuff, like financial stuff can be easily, like you can find suspicious actions, you can track wallets, already there are tools out there, like because all of these information, the data is available, you can find where the funds are flowing, and then if you are able to tap into that, and also if you've got other information that like IP addresses or something like that, you can maybe pinpoint exactly where that money is flowing towards, like where it is going, who is doing this, and that can be a really big gain. I mean that's from the security side of things, which is I feel like is very obvious.
Yeah.
Second, probably like financially, like again, everything in Web3 is mostly financial in that sense. Like again, finding the best yield opportunities across multiple chains. Like you probably know like one or two chains, but AI can probably like scour multiple different chain opportunities, multiple different contracts, find where the best yield is, maybe kind of nudge you to use that.
So if you had like a platform that could spit out like sites and lightweight apps, would you use that? I mean, like, is that useful for you as a DevRel, as someone in crypto?
I have used some apps like that, like Lovable and I think Higa is something that I've used a few. Um, I've never been impressed by any of them so far, so I would never use it. Per se, like I've used some of these things like Lovable, and it just spits out something very uninspired to me. And I feel like I can do a much better job with it by just using cursor and you know, using a normal LLM. I can like input exactly what I want. Like I can put in an image of a UI that I probably designed on Figma, tell it to like code that out for me, like just code out the component for me. So I get the UI exactly I want, because I hate coding front end stuff. So like it gives me the layout, and then I can like do the actual integration and stuff that I want, the logic I want to actually do, right? So that kind of so I have tried some of these that exist already, and I have not been impressed enough that I want to use anything else at this point. Um, like anything, like even if someone says otherwise, like most of it is like marketing videos, which not reflect reality, and they might do some very basic apps nicely, but the moment you give it something just slightly more complex in terms of like I want this kind of app, or like this is exactly where I want my button to be at, stuff like that, it kind of fails, it just falls apart, or just does not make the site dynamic, or the styling is just too flashy sometimes. Like they just, if you mention the word Web3, they just go to the generic Web3 assets and like give you very flashy NFT marketplace kind of stuff, and that's like
Space, yeah, aliens and all that. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen all of that. But would you say you prefer like something like Cursor? Yeah.
yeah, maybe because that like I have the technical background of a dev,
Sure.
that I know how to code and stuff, and because of that, I know I have much more control on what exactly I want with it, and I can make modifications rather than Lovable, where it just spits out the site and just looks like something and might not be even functional, and I just have to do with that. Um, so yeah. So I would prefer like something like Cursor or Claude.
For those that don't know about Avail or about your Twitter account, why don't you share where we can find you?
Yeah, definitely. So for those who don't know about Avail, you can read more about it at availproject.org. We are basically a team that is trying to solve scalability, basically make blockchains simpler to use. And you can read a lot about it on our website on availproject.org. And as for me, I'm Avail at Avail. You can find me on Twitter or X at Robin_RRTX. So yeah, I should post a lot. I create content sometimes.
Yeah,
So
I've been seeing your videos. And also, what is I mean, I know, but like, what is Avail's Twitter so that everybody else knows?
It's called Avail Project, at Avail Project. So you find it there.